Well, it's taken me years to get to this point to where this car is running reliably and driving down the highway beautifully. So now I'm going to take it apart. Let's do it. I've been working on this 64 Chevelle for the last 3 years and finally managed to get it turned into a running, driving automobile. It's reliable, it works, it drives beautifully, and now I'm going to make it so it doesn't, because I'm going to do the wiring. This car is an absolute wiring nightmare. It is horrid. It is unbelievable how bad this thing is. And I'm going to do that with an American Autowire wiring system. They are not a sponsor. I purchased this myself. Every single time I work on this car, and if you followed my shorts on YouTube, my shorts videos, I built this air box recently to isolate the cold air, get some cold air into the engine. And it turned into a wiring nightmare because I was messing around in this corner behind the headlights. There's some old wiring left over that has nothing to do with this LS swap, and I ended up with an electrical problem. And every single time I work on this car, it turns into an electrical problem, and I'm just sick of it. So I'm going to fix the one thing that's left in this car that can leave me on the side of the road, and that's the electrical system. Because basically all the wiring in this car is original. Everything from the bulkhead forward down here is original, and of course it's been added to. People keep adding wire to it. All the computer you can see over there. There's another computer down behind the air cleaner box here that runs the transmission. All this new wiring's been added to the 64 wiring. In fact, when I bought this car, it had 4 sets of car stereo wiring inside of it. So every time somebody put a car stereo in it, they just added a new wiring kit. And I pulled out 4 wiring harnesses for a car stereo when I put that stereo in. So we're going to be taking all of it out, front to back, doing the entire car, but it's going to start with taking this car apart, and we're going to start by taking the interior out of the car to make life easy. We're going to take the interior out, and then we're going to take the dashboard and gauge cluster out. Then we're going to take the bulkheads out, and we're going to pull all the wiring out of the front of the car. That's coming out again, and yeah, we're going to leave the LS computers and all that wiring in place. I don't think I'm going to have to be messing with that. I don't even really totally, completely understand that. We're going to learn it on this little journey we're about to take. Okay, one of the things we definitely got to do, per the manufacturer's recommendations, is to go through this box and make sure we got all the parts. Right off the bat, I gotta say, look at the beautiful schematics that you get with this kit. Full color and just huge. That is impressive and appreciated. Very nice work right there. And here we are. Man, let's just go through this whole thing and see if we got everything. This is going to be quite the journey. This kit includes an updated fuse panel that requires me to cut the firewall on this car. Not a big deal once the dash is out and everything, I'm pulling basically everything out of the area that I got to cut into. But I am cutting the dash, and that's going to be something. So, or not the dashboard, I'm cutting the firewall. So I don't think this is something we should be scared of. If you've been watching me in this air conditioning series, I did cut the dash already. I got this little tiny saw that cuts perfectly. I think that saw is going to work really well in this. I guess it's time to get the interior out. Cue the time lapse. Okay, making headway. Got the seats out of the car. I'm stashed over here. The front seat belts, lap belts are out. Some people have asked questions about how my shoulder harnesses are tied into the car, and they're tied into this hoop that's bolted down to the car, and that keeps us safe. There's the mount for my fire extinguisher. Making headway. Okay, through great effort and fighting, I got that console out of the car. My plan is to build a new console for this car. On to the next step, pulling the carpeting out. In order to do that, I got to take the dimmer switch cover off and get this out, and then the sills, and then the carpet can come out of the car. And then next, we're working on gauges. Getting there. Things are definitely moving along now. We got the full interior out of the car. Looking good. Next is to get the dash and gauges out of the car and the stereo. And we'll probably take the subwoofer out of the trunk, and I'm going to be replacing the RCA lines. They're old lines and they run under the carpet, and I just don't want to deal with them in the future. So I'm going to be replacing all of that stuff too. But yeah, we're making headway. Moving along, moving along. Well, we have made some headway today. Got that dash out. Man, look at that nasty wiring, man. That's just horrible. What a nightmare. We're going to fix that. We've gotten a lot done. We're going to start ripping out that wiring because we have to cut the hole for the fuse box just a little bit bigger to go through the bulkhead. So That will probably be next, and then start removing all of this damn wiring. Man, what a disaster. I know this video is mostly time-lapse videos, but man, I don't think you want to be sitting here with me the whole time through this nightmare. But we're making headway. We're getting the fuse box out and trying to disconnect all these wires. I don't want to cut everything out because there's a lot of stuff, the modern stuff, that's going to be staying. You know, I got a digital Dakota box that controls the speedometer and all the wiring for that, and there's a lot of wiring that's going to be staying, but a lot of wiring's got to go. Man, we're making headway. I got to disconnect the connectors on this side of the bulkhead down there. See if I can get a shot of it way down there. I got to disconnect those and get those out of the way, and then we can pull off the harness from the other side. So let's work on that. Got the bulkhead wires out of the way. You can see them disconnected down there. No idea what this wire does. It's been disconnected since I've owned the car. That's good. Yeah. You can see the corrosion inside those connectors. Those are original, and I've been fighting them the whole time. The one on the left was partially disconnected just now, so the top clip was not on the connector, and the bottom one was clipped, but it was partially out. These are the things I've been dealing with this connector. Has been a pain in the ass. Sometimes my headlights don't work. There have literally been times where I've been driving and the car just dies. Just nothing, zero power anywhere on the switch. Thankfully, it's never, done that on the freeway or in traffic or anything like that. But yeah, this has got to end. It's coming out by the fistful now, but there's still a lot to go. So much of this is modern wiring as well. All the red, all of this stuff. Oh man, it's like an Italian car. They used all one wire color. Brilliant. But it's coming out. Heater box is going to be coming out. Oh, remember this, I'm supposed to be doing air conditioning. That's how I got into this mess, is I'm supposed to be doing air conditioning. But there's no way I could add air conditioning to this absolute disaster of a wiring harness. So all this had to come out so I can do the air conditioning. That box down there is going to be coming out. All of that is coming out. The heater box. Everything's getting gutted. Well, we're getting there. We're definitely moving along. You can see my ducting for my air conditioning right here. That's everything that can be removed from inside the car. We pretty much so gutted the dash area. There's wiring still left. That stuff is modern stuff. We're going to leave it right there right now. We'll identify it all from the engine compartment side. We've made a lot of headway today. This is all stereo equipment and the rear lighting wiring. We'll get to that last. Tomorrow we will be working under the hood and get all of the old headlight stuff out of this car and the rest of it. This is what we've pulled out so far. Doesn't seem like a lot, but a lot of this stuff is just junk, man. This is what's under the hood of this car. Okay? So you start with an orange or a red, you go into a blue, then you go to multiple reds, and then you go to black. Okay, this is the type of crap in this car. Yeah. Lots of this stuff. So yeah, this thing was going to leave me on the side of the road at some point. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. In the next video, we're going to get into the gauges, see if we can get those working, see if we can identify the new wiring for the LS system, get that all separated, and then we're going to start wiring this thing up. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Peace.